Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tarot and the Star. I am your host, Melody. Today we're going to be doing a ghost box reading on Elizabeth Short, otherwise known as the Black Dahlia. First impression of what I pick up, I'm not picking up the murder situation. I'm picking up her personality, like somebody that's fun, that likes to get out and do things and have fun, and she had friends and she talked to various people. She liked to try new things. That's kind of what I'm getting from her personality. Somebody that was outgoing. So we're going to get into it. I think this is for one of our viewers, but I also feel that Elizabeth Short also wants to talk. So we're going to get into it. Let's go with our prayer first. Archangel Michael, please protect me and my viewers as I conduct this ghost box reading on Elizabeth Short, otherwise known as the Black Dahlia. Please protect us from negative forces, negative entities, negative beings, demonic forces, demonic entities, demonic beings, and do not allow these things to come through or attach to us or attack us as we watch this ghost box now or in the future. Please keep us shielded, Archangel Michael, in white light. Thank you so much. Amen. Okay. Elizabeth Short. Oh, geez. She was 22 years old when she was found deceased. Elizabeth Short is otherwise known as the Black Dahlia. She was found on January 15th, 1947. The person that committed this crime has never been found. She was located in Lument Park in Los Angeles. She was mutilated. Her face was cut from ear to ear, and her body was cut in half. We're not going to get into too much gore here, but she was cut in that manner. When the coroner did a report on her, they said that basically she passed from head trauma as well as being cut in the face. So all of the other cutting would have happened after she was already passed. Now, Elizabeth Short, she didn't finish school. She dropped out of high school in her sophomore year. Her and her mom kind of got into it. The father had left for so many years, and then he wanted to reconnect with his daughter. So she went to go live with her father, and then they got into it, and then she left. And she ended up working as a waitress and renting a room behind the Florentine Gardens nightclub. Now there's talk about her wanting to be in the films, and her wanting to be a star at that time. There's talk about that, but there's not really a confirmation on that. She did date numerous different people, and there is talk about her possibly being gay. So the suspects here, you have a person by the name of Robert Manley, which she called Red. This is somebody that she dated. He dropped her off at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. And then from there, she went over to the Crown Grill Cocktail Lounge. after that, that's when they found her, right? They found her the next morning. She was cut in half, and she was kind of in between a park and undeveloped terrain, because back then, this is 1947, there's not a lot of development. It's going to be like open area that's gravel and a greenery. Okay, so when the police are questioning and all of this, they say, well, maybe the owner of the cocktail lounge could have done it. So they question that guy, and he says no. And they put everybody through a polygraph test, but polygraph tests can be manipulated. It's like there's some people that can hold their emotions and go through a polygraph test, no problem, and they could have committed the crime. So we're not even going to go with that. We're going to find out if any of these people had anything to do with it. We have Mark Hansen. We have Martin Lewis that used to date or was going to go on a date with her, and the Robert Manley. We're going to ask about those three. The possibility is that she was cut by somebody who could have been in medical school or a doctor, because the precision of the cut in which she was cut in half was precise. So this is somebody perhaps with some knowledge here. Okay. I believe Elizabeth thought that she could have so much more with her life. I'm picking up on a young woman that really wanted to get ahead in life. I don't believe that she was thinking she was going to work as a waitress forever. I'm almost getting like this feeling that she wanted to marry somebody that was well off, that had money, could support her. That's the kind of feeling I pick up with her. It's like she wants this dashing looking young man that's, good looking and that has his stuff together and he could provide her a good life. That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm getting she loved to dress up. I'm also picking up she would look in the windows, like do window shopping, like looking at things that she wanted to buy. She made things her own style is what I'm getting. It's like she could put a flower in her hair, right? But I see it's much more than that. It's like she could just take anything and then make it stylish, which was really cool. I like that about her personality. She's very warm and friendly and outgoing, and I want to say frisky too. I get that with her, like real sassy, I get that. But a lot of fun, a good friend. She was just a very sociable person. This is awful what happened to her. What happened to her was awful. Because, nobody should be afraid in that manner. Like, going on a date with somebody and you don't want to go along with their advances, let's say, and then they do all this heinous stuff, right? It's just, this person took it far. Let me see if I can get any impression before we start the ghost box. I'm getting the person wanted sexual advances with her. Angry when it was like a no. Kind of like the person felt as though she was putting them on, and then she didn't go through with it or something. Like she, kind of like this person was, it's like they bought her a drink or food or something like that, or they were talking about taking her out or something, and then she just wasn't, she wasn't gonna go there with them. You know, it was just kind of like, and I actually get from her presence that this kind of stuff happened a lot, not with this kind of like aggressiveness or people that are gonna do something like this to her, but more I'm getting from her personality. Like she would go out on dates, people would buy her drinks or food, and that was that. And then she would take off, and they'd be like, "What? That's it? Like you're not gonna be with me tonight?" You know, that kind of thing is what I'm getting. Like a big tease, right? But she wanted the right person. She wanted somebody that she could really count on. She had a lot of wishy-washy people that she was dating, is what I'm getting. Like there was a few people, not a lot of people. There was like 1, 2, 3 people at the most that she was dating, and wishy-washy. She had a lot of friends and a lot of people she knew. But, yeah, you know. And one of the people she was dating was a married man. And, you know, of course, he's not going to be serious about her. She was getting a lot of these people that were not serious. They were just wanted to have some kind of good time with her. And she wanted something more than that for herself. So, Mrs. Elizabeth Short, beautiful Elizabeth Short, fun-loving Elizabeth Short, I will say. Let us do the ghost box now. Spirit guides of Elizabeth Short, otherwise known as the Black Dahlia, that went missing, that was found deceased on January 15th, 1947. Elizabeth, in your own words, what happened exactly? Was this somebody you were dating? Spirit guides of Elizabeth Short, or Elizabeth Short if you can come through, that passed away on January 15th, 1947 in Los Angeles. Elizabeth Short, you are a very beautiful young woman. I come to you with love and admiration. I come to you as an interviewer. I am interviewing to find out what exactly happened to you. They never caught the person that committed a crime towards you in which you were found deceased, Elizabeth. I'm going to go ahead and read off some names to you, Elizabeth Short. Let me know if any of these people did this crime to you. Okay? Mark Hansen. Did Mark Hansen, Elizabeth Short, have anything to do with committing this crime towards you? Spirit guides of Elizabeth Short, or Elizabeth Short if you can come through, that passed away on January 15th, 1947. Elizabeth, The second person on our list is Robert Red Manley. He dropped you off at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. Did he have anything to do with this crime, Robert? Spirit Guides of Elizabeth Short, or Elizabeth Short, that ended up deceased on January 15th, 1947. Elizabeth, they call you the Black Dahlia. I don't think you like that name, right? I don't feel that you like that. Spirit Guides of Elizabeth Short, or Elizabeth Short, that ended up deceased on January 15th, 1947 in Lemont Park, Los Angeles. Elizabeth, the other person on this list of people that could have done this to you is Martin Lewis. Did Martin Lewis have anything to do with what happened to you? Spirit Guides of Elizabeth Short, or Elizabeth Short if you can come through, that passed away on January 15th, 1947 in Lemont Park, Los Angeles. Elizabeth, what do you like to be called? Do you like to be called Elizabeth or Elisa or Eliz? What is your preferred nickname that you enjoy, Elizabeth? Spirit Guides of Elizabeth Short, otherwise known as the Black Dahlia, that passed away on January 15th, 1947. Let's talk about something nice now, Elizabeth Short. I don't want to just talk about what happened to you. I think people don't really know you. They don't know you as who you were besides what happened to you. Tell me something. Did you enjoy working as a waitress? Were you saving up money to move out of that apartment, the room you were renting behind the Florentine Gardens nightclub? What were your plans, Elizabeth Short? Thank you if you came through, Elizabeth Short. Spirit guides of Elizabeth Short, otherwise known as the Black Dahlia, that was found deceased on January 15th, 1947. Elizabeth Short, what did this person say to you? What was the motive for your murder? What is the motive here? Why would this person do this to you? Thank you if you came through, Elizabeth Short. Spirit guides of Elizabeth Short, or Elizabeth Short, that was found deceased on January 15th, 1947 in Lement Park, Los Angeles. Elizabeth Short, do you have any final messages for anyone out there, authorities that want to know who done this crime to you? Can you provide them the name of who did this crime to you? Thank you so much for coming through, Spirit Guides of Elizabeth Short, or Elizabeth Short, if you came through. Thank you for coming through. And thank you for coming through, any spirits that wanted to speak on behalf of Elizabeth Short and provide us more answers here. Thank you for coming through. We are ending the session with you all now, and we are saying goodbye to you all now. We are ending the session with you all now, and we are saying goodbye to you all now. Goodbye. We are ending the session. Goodbye. And for those of you still watching Tarot and the Star, this was from one of our viewers. Elizabeth Short, loved a lot of she loved a lot of different kinds of flowers. This person somehow associated with just one type of flower, right? This person that committed this crime. But she actually liked a lot of different kinds of flowers, is what I'm getting. She loved receiving flowers, too, is what I'm getting. She was really a good person. She was really, she was a beautiful person. Not necessarily on the right, side of things. Elizabeth Short, when she was living in 1947, it's like she wanted a life that was more free. She wanted to have somebody that married her that was rich. She didn't want to have to work extremely hard to get these things. She was working as a waitress just to get by. But she had like ideas of grandeur, is what I'm getting. More like she's going to meet the man of her dreams, and he's going to whisk her away from this life, right, that she's living. She still had fun, even though she was a waitress. She still had good times with her friends. She couldn't afford a lot of things. Yeah, I get that. But she window shopped. I'm getting that they would go to a diner of some sorts, like have a cup of coffee, some pastry, something like that. She was very sociable. She was well-liked. She had sex appeal to her as well. I do pick up, if Elizabeth Short had it her way, she would have done whatever it took to get to a place where she had a lot of money, okay? If that meant that she had to do nefarious things with people, I see that she would have, if she knew that would have guaranteed her future. Do I get that she was doing that at that time? 1-2 people, seeing 1-2 people. I don't get that she was all over the place and messing around with so many people and everything like that. I recall reading that she messed around with Marilyn Monroe. But I feel that when I'm picking up with Elizabeth, it's like I'm picking up somebody that also exaggerated some stories, telling people, oh, you know who I kissed, and it's not really necessarily true. It's just, it's kind of like exaggerating glam in that time, because she wanted to look good to people. She wanted to look cool and be something. I mean, this person ended her, and she was way too young to be ended, literally. And this was somebody that desired her and getting, but a very sickly type of feeling, like wants to do things to her that she's not down for. She wanted to just be free, and she wanted to be with somebody that paid her way. She wasn't a bad person. I don't get that. She would have been a great friend to any of you guys. She would have been a great friend. She was a very delightful, is what I'm picking up. Very delightful kind of person. Very sweet. Easy to speak with. You can talk to her about any of your secrets, but you got to watch out, because she may tell your secret to somebody else occasionally. That's the kind of person I'm picking up on with her. But she was very delightful. It's really sad that this happened to her. Really is. Because, do I get she would have been something? I pick up that she could have been like a dancer, or like a backup dancer in a movie or TV, like a movie I'm getting. Like, she could have been that, or she could have been on stage as a backup dancer. She had possibility, but she needed to work at it. That means maybe going into modeling or acting school or something like that. But she had a good chance. She wasn't bad looking. So we'll see what comes through in this ghost box, but that's all I have for you guys today. I feel the energy draining. But it's not terrible with her. Even though the crime was terrible, what was committed on her, I don't get this energy like that. I'm not getting like a horrible, horrific energy. I'm getting like just kind of like showing casual things, showing casual emotions, which is nice. It's not terrible. I mean, yes, my energy's draining, but it's not draining like in a traumatic way. Like she's thinking about the trauma, and it's draining you completely. I'm not getting that. I'm getting more like she's happy where she's at. She's at peace. She's at peace. So thank you so much for joining me with Tarot and the Star and watching today's program. If you're not subscribed, do subscribe and click on the notification button so you're notified of my upcoming videos. And do like these. This gets us across to others that may want to know about Elizabeth Short and find out what she has to say. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until the next one, bye now.